The A118 dashboard camera model is based on the Novatec 96650 chipset with HDR or High Dynamic Range feature and Aptina AR0330 imaging sensor. This model has a 170-degree wide-angle lens and can record video at 30 frames per second in 1080p Full HD resolution. It was designed with stealth installation in mind. It has a built-in 300 mAh lithium polymer rechargeable battery for powering the real-time clock circuit and finalization of the last recorded file when the camera shuts down. This particular one came from an online store, gearbest.com. Let's take a more detailed look at it. Top of the box says it's a DVR or digital video recorder. It has loop recording, USB 2.0 and TF card. Front of the box also says it's a digital video recorder and has a few more small pictures. HD DVR, wide angle lens, G sensor, night vision, USB 2.0, TF card and loop recording. And some more specifications on the right side of the box. Seamless loop recording, starting recording automatically when you start the car, audio video out, wide viewing angle, high definition camera. And finally, that the right of modification has been reserved by the manufacturer without further notice. I should mention that although the camera has an AV out, a cable for it is not included. What's in the box? The camera itself. It has monolithic design. On the front side you get a 1.5-inch color LCD display, 3 LEDs marked recording, power and microphone, and 5 buttons: power on-off, menu, emergency button, recording on-off and microphone on-off. A reset button is on the right side of the unit. There are 3 sockets on the upper side of the camera. Mini USB-B for connecting to a cigar lighter socket adapter or a computer. GPS receiver input and audio-video signal output. A mounting slot is on the rear side, and on the left side there's a hole for the built-in microphone and a memory card slot. At the very bottom of the camera there is a rotating drum containing the lens and sensor assembly. In the box you will also find a printed manual in Chinese and English, a 5V 1A cigar lighter socket power adapter with a mini USB-B plug on the end, USB-A to mini-B computer cable, a windscreen mount with a sticky pad. The mount has a recess in the shape of the pad on its rear side. Here is how this dash camera attaches to the mount. The correct position of the mount on the windscreen is with the tab facing up. You put the camera on the mount, then gently slide it downwards. To remove the camera, slide it upwards, then take it off the mount. The next item in the box is quite unusual. Placed above the dashboard camera on the windscreen, this plastic cover disguises the installed dashboard camera, making the whole thing look like a rain sensor. Placing the camera at the bottom of the dotted area surrounding the rear view mirror, so that only the camera lens is visible from the outside, with this black plastic trunk above the camera, makes for a pretty stealthy looking installation. A double-sided adhesive strip for the trunk is also supplied in the box. Using this length of string, you can cut through the sticky pad and remove the holder from the windscreen. And finally, the box contains a few plastic hooks with sticky base. You can attach them to the car's upholstery and use for holding the routed cable from cigar lighter socket power adapter if you choose to install it permanently. This dash camera has protective film not only on the screen but on the lens as well. Don't forget to remove the lens one, otherwise obviously you are going to get very blurry picture. It is a good idea to carefully wipe the lens with something soft after you have removed the protective film from it. Now, since this camera comes without any memory cards, I am going to use a Class 10 32GB Transcend micro SD card. The card has to be inserted with a notch facing the microphone hole, as marked on the camera's housing. Now let's look at the menu. You enter the menu by pressing the menu button, of course. The record and microphone buttons are used to move the highlight up or down, and pressing the emergency button selects the highlighted item. In the video menu you have a choice of resolutions: 1080p, 720p 60, 720p and 2 480p resolutions. I'll stick with 1080p because it gives best video quality. Loop recording can be off 1 minute, 3 or 5 minutes. If it's off, the camera stops recording as soon as the card is full. Otherwise, video is stored in 1, 3 or 5 minute long segments on the card. When the card gets full, the oldest segment is deleted and the newest one stored in its place. When loop recording is enabled, the camera can record indefinitely. The overall length of video saved to the memory card depends on the card's capacity. A 32 GB card can store slightly more than 4 hours of 1080p video, so no matter how long your camera has been recording, you always get 4-something hours of the latest video stored on the card. Let's choose 3 minutes. HDR is an image enhancement feature. Let's turn it on. EV, or exposition value, changes the overall brightness of the image. Leaving it at 0 is your best bet, unless your windscreen is tinted or you mostly drive in Sahara or Antarctic. Enabling motion detection allows you to use this dash camera in parking mode. When the car is parked and the camera detects motion in its field of view, a file is recorded and stored in the emergency folder. For normal recording of your trips, you leave it off. If record audio is off, the audio track on all the videos will be muted, a useful feature if privacy is a concern. Please note that even if your audio is on, you can mute or unmute your microphone with the microphone button. When date stamp is on, current date and time are embedded into the frames of recorded video. There is no GPS feature in this dash camera, so we leave it off. The purpose of G-sensor is locking the current video file in the event of a collision. You can set it to high, medium or low sensitivity. I'll leave it off because it sometimes goes off on the roads with average surface. Let's do a quick install of the camera in a car. Taking into consideration driving safety and driver's comfort, a spot on the windscreen for the dash camera holder should be chosen so that the dash camera is out of driver's sight completely if possible. Due to the small size of the A118 dash camera, in fact it is possible to hide it completely from driver's line of sight. A huge advantage. Also, because the lens assembly of A118 dash camera can only move up or down but not left or right, the preferred position for the camera holder is somewhere along the longitudinal axis of the vehicle. 4 meters of the cigar lighter socket power adapter cable supplied with the camera should be enough to install the A118 in almost any car or truck. For a quick installation, route the cable behind the passenger side sun visor and run it down along the A-pillar, then below the glove compartment towards the center console. When A118 has been powered up, it starts recording automatically. If you are using A118 in this particular car for the very first time, you have to adjust lens angle. It is a good idea not to have too much of the sky in the frame, but traffic lights should be in it. And part of the bonnet too. Another strong point of the A118 model is thoughtfully designed way of mounting the camera. Please note that the footprint of the camera itself is only slightly bigger than the area of the holder. The holder itself does not contain any levers or ball joints. The camera is mounted as close to the windscreen as it is physically possible. All of this means that the holder itself does not vibrate at all, minimizing the adverse effect of vibrations on image quality. Now let's take a look at the footage recorded by this dash camera. This clip was recorded in the daytime. A118 dash camera does indeed have a wide-angle lens. You can see both A-pillars in the frame. Daytime video quality is very good. The amount of detail is quite consistent with 1080p resolution. License plates of the cars going in the opposite direction are readable in both lanes. As for the gaps between clips, there aren't any. In fact, the adjacent clips overlap by approximately 1 second. To illustrate A118's seamless recording capability, let's look at this moment where the two clips join. There is no gap at all. On the contrary, the clips overlap. Here, the first clip ends and the next one begins. So with A118 dashcam, you even have some footage redundancy. Now let's complicate things for this dash camera and record some footage with the sun shining directly into the camera's lens. This is where HDR kicks in, enhancing detail in the shadows and dampening highlights. Note that the license plate of the car in the left lane, directly under the sun, is still readable. On to nighttime video. Quality of the footage recorded by A118 at nighttime is excellent. By no small means, this is a feat of the HDR or High Dynamic Range feature. On well-lit roads, the camera actually sees even more than the driver. Virtually all the license plates of the cars around you are readable. Audio recording quality of this dashcam deserves the highest praise. It is truly outstanding. The next few seconds of audio are recorded by the dash camera itself. The quality of audio recording of this dashboard camera is extremely good. The level is quite high and you can hear all frequencies, low and high. Pay attention, you can even hear such quiet and seemingly insignificant sounds as this clicking of the turn relay indicator. We are now entering a not very well lit area at night. The A118 dashboard camera is capturing on video approximately the same level of detail as a driver himself sees. Now this stretch of road isn't lit at all. It's completely dark. And those are the only conditions when the dashboard camera A118 captures less detail than a human can see with his eyes. But as soon as there is any additional lighting on the road, image quality and detail level are back to normal. You can play the recorded footage right on the dash camera itself, although there really isn't much you can see on its 1.5-inch screen. To enter the playback mode, you press the microphone button twice. In playback mode, when playback is stopped, press the microphone button to jump to the next file or record button to go one file back. To start playback or pause it, you press the emergency button, and pressing menu stops playback. To slow down playback rate when you are watching a video, press the record button. To speed it up, press the microphone button. In playback menu, you can delete the current file or delete all, lock the current file from being recycled, lock all, unlock current or unlock all. Or you can start a 2, 5 or 8 seconds per file slideshow. But really, you are much better off viewing recorded footage on your computer. After you have connected your dash camera to a computer, you are presented with two choices: mass storage or PC camera. Select mass storage. When your dashboard camera is connected to a computer, you can still blank the screen by a short press on the power button. The A118 is recognized by the operating system as removable storage. No additional drivers or software are needed. In the root of the storage device, which is your camera, there is a car DV folder. In it, there are two subfolders. Movie contains video clips, photo, still photos made by the camera. The RO subfolder of the movie folder contains locked files, either by triggering of the G sensor or by locking the file manually. Also, when motion detection is enabled, all the recorded footage goes straight into the RO folder. To avoid stuttering playback, copy the video files to the hard drive of your computer first. Don't play them off the camera. As an added bonus, the A118 can also work as a PC web camera. In this mode, it does not require any additional drivers either. It just appears as a USB video device under my computer. Now let's take a quick look at the second set of menus, System Settings. It is accessed by pressing the menu button twice. You can enter the System Settings menu from any mode except when connected to a computer. In the date time you set date and time and timestamp format. Auto power off selects delay before shutting the camera down if it's on but not recording. Button beep sound on or off. Select language in the language menu. TV system for the AV out NTSC or PAL. AC mains frequency to reduce flickering of lights on the video, 50 or 60 Hz. Screensaver. Switch off the screen automatically in 1 minute, 3 minutes, or don't switch it off at all. Format the memory card in the camera. Default setting resets everything to factory defaults, and version displays the current firmware version. The camera can also take still pictures. If you stop recording video and press the microphone button, it goes into still camera mode. Let's run through the stills camera mode menu. In capture mode, you choose whether to take still pictures instantly or with a delay. You can choose your still photos resolution from VGA up to 12 megapixel in the resolution menu. If sequence mode is on, the camera shoots pictures for as long as you are holding the button. Quality of the stills: fine, normal or economy. Sharpness: soft, normal or hard. Adjust white balance in the white balance menu. Select whether to take color pictures, black and white or sepia in the color menu. Choose sensitivity value or auto. Adjust exposition value. Enable or disable image stabilization in the anti-shaking menu. In quick preview menu, you select whether to display a picture you have just taken and for how long or not. Date stamp on still images: off, date or date and time. Pressing the emergency button when the dash camera is recording protects the current file from being recycled. In video recording mode, such a file is marked with a yellow triangle in the upper left corner of the screen. In playback mode, a protected file has a small key next to its name. To temporarily mute the microphone in recording mode, press the microphone button. The red LED marked microphone goes off. Press it again to turn the microphone back on. So briefly, here are the strong points of the camera. Excellent quality day and nighttime video footage, very high quality of audio recording, firm, non-vibrating quick release mount, wide field of view, compact design for easy out-of-the-way installation, possibility of a stealth install out of the box, and a reasonable price. I would only name one possible drawback: lack of sufficient detail on video shot in complete darkness. So this is it. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.